Hello, everyone. Hello, Carlos, Irene, Svetlana. Good evening. I hope you can hear me, but just in case, let's check. I already started our recording, so it seems like everything is fine. Please type in our chat window if you can hear me. Please type yes, I can hear you, or type hi. And yeah, please just indicate somehow that you can hear me. And that would be already good start for us. I think we still have maybe 1 more minute to wait for other people. Today is supposed to be, yeah, I don't know how many people is going to be, but more than 20 people registered. We'll see. Registration is one thing, but be committed enough to get into the classroom and spend 1 hour, it's another thing. So please find the group chat window and type hello or yes. Let me just type also here. It seems like maybe you cannot hear me. Hello, hello, hello. It looks like you cannot hear me for whatever reason. Let me see. I don't really see if anyone is typing.
Alex?
Yeah. Hello, Svetlana.
Hi, Alex. We can hear you. However, I don't see the group chat window. This is the problem. Thank you.
Yeah. At the Zoom, the software which I use, they made update just today. I also cannot recognize anything what I've seen so far. So, Svetlana, how you usually? What is the usual way of finding the chat window? I don't even know how it looks like from participant kind of point. Do you need to click somewhere or?
Yes, unfortunately, I took from my mobile device. However, I have the chat icon. When I click, it goes to our profiles. I don't see a regular chat window.
Okay. So probably they changed some settings, and yeah, that's. I also discovered today just that I cannot really access some particular functions because they moved it to another place. But yeah, okay, let's figure it out, guys, because we all on this kind of on the same boat right now. We are trying to figure it out what they changed. Irena was able to see, and Svetlana, thank you very much. At least if you can hear me, and Irene obviously can hear me as well, so I can assume that everything goes fine from my side. Thanks a lot for letting me know what is going on, guys. Unfortunately, you are on your own to figure it out where the chat window is. I see that Yvonne able to find it, Irene also, and probably from different devices, it's going to be different way of accessing the chat window. So for me, it's almost impossible to say exactly how it's going to look like on your particular device. So please take your time because we are going to start anyway. Our work today is quite interesting topic. I really enjoy that diving into the changing belief exercises and changing belief procedures. And as for the typing, it would be really great if you will find it because well, another way to work, of course, is to enable your microphones. But anyway, we could have just a limited number of people I could talk to simultaneously. Otherwise, our audio system will be in troubles. So let's see. At least I see that Irene and Yvonne can already able to type. So Svetlana, Carlos, and I don't know who else is going to come. So far, we have 5 people. It's already good, to start. So let's move to our material today. So transforming a limiting belief. And there are lots of different techniques. available for us as a coaches to deal with the limiting beliefs. And today we're going to be covering one of the topics and one of the techniques which in NLP well known as a chaining. Yeah, and yeah, I will dive into the details later. Today's topic is a part of the much broader theme, which is conversational reframing. And I deliberately used in the title conversational reframing in coaching because usually we know conversational reframing and actually reframing techniques from NLP point of view, and there is a difference. There are multiple differences how we use reframing in coaching and how in comparison to normal NLP techniques. So yeah, you will in details we'll be covering that material later because conversational reframing it's a multiple more than 10 sessions I will be devoting to that particular topic. I think today is just the fifth one, so fifth session. So there will be lots of details we will be discussing later on. And material mainly was taken from Robert Dield's book, Sleight of Mouse. I highly recommend it, and I always mention it because he made a really powerful contribution in that particular area of reframing, and his book Sleight of Mouse, it's like a main reading for me. I would recommend it highly. So let's go through our usual process. First of all, I would like you just to pay 1 minute of your attention to your surroundings. So please remove and disable all the sources of distortion, whatever it could be. I don't know, your mobile phones or email kind of programs, or just close the door if you can. So just try to isolate yourself, because we are going to be spending next 53 minutes, and the more focused you are, the better it's going to be in terms of results and learning. Yeah. So please pay attention that you could create your own environment and remove your possible disturbances here. So today's webinar and today's session belong to the bigger part of our service. The company Headway Coaching Group you are familiar with, and today's webinar is a part of the Headway Learning Practice Laboratory. I just want you to know kind of what we are doing. Laboratory has two directions: the business direction and coaching growth direction. And this particular webinar and this particular session belongs to coaching growth. And later from September, I will be informing everyone, every member of Headway Coaching Group, what are the other options, how you could join business direction, what you can do there. There are lots of totally free versions and options, like the one which you are participating now. So those webinars on a weekly basis, they're totally free of charge. No troubles and no worries about payments. But there are some other options which will be kind of which will provide you additional services, and some of you will find it useful, some maybe not, or they don't see the necessity. But the problem is that as soon as you would like to move faster, or as soon as you would like to move into the business direction as well, together with the coaching growth direction, so there will be, from September, there will be some paid options. Again, it's a monthly subscription, it's not very expensive. 20, I think 27 or 28 British pounds, I mean $30-something per month, and then you'll have a full access to all the capabilities. But this particular weekly webinars in the coaching growth directions, they are free. So the one which you are participating now, it will be totally free and will be in the future as well. The people who will like to join and will join the more advanced or more intense level, they will be joining Trello board, they will be joining some other resources, and I will be informing you from September what options you have available for that. As for today, we are going to be going through basic chaining procedure. And you see right now on your screen. So we will be discussing beliefs, we will be discussing states, we will discuss what does it really mean to chain beliefs or states, how to move your client from one belief to another belief in a more incremental. That's what chaining really is. Yeah, to move in a more chunked down steps. Yeah, because usually desired state or desired belief is far away, and usually there are difficulties to bridge that gap in one kind of jump or one leap. So as a result, the whole idea of chaining is to create some intermediate or states or beliefs which are between the problematic one or the initial one or starting point and the state or belief which you have at the end of the journey as a desired one. So yeah, we will go through the precise techniques a little bit later, but right now I just want you to know what we'll be going through. And yeah, that's pretty much all. Let's move briefly into our, as you know already, people who already attended our previous webinars, that we usually go through classical, I would say, setup process. And I do it deliberately. We're going to do it in a very quick way, literally a few minutes. But I think it's very useful because you could, when you are running webinars, when you are running some sessions with the groups, I think it's very important to spend a few minutes in the beginning and set up some kind of spirit of the meeting. Yeah, and how you do it? Well, my way to do it is to ask few questions. And the first one is, what do you already know? Well, in the previous 5 sessions, we covered already lots of material. And again, I will be going through very briefly through all that material because some of you maybe have not attended all the sessions and some of you haven't attended any of the sessions. So it's really good for you to know what has already been covered, yeah, so far. And when I ask you about what do you know, well, let's me go through more precise question, like what do you know about chaining techniques? Have you heard about NLP chaining techniques? And if you could just type some words, I'm not really expect you to type some kind of definitions of what chaining is, but if you have some kind of associations, some words in your mind, which you have immediately when you hear chaining procedure or chaining techniques, I would love to see what your mind is gonna come with. Yeah, so please type if you hear the term chaining technique or chaining procedure, what comes to your mind? Okay, even moods, all right. Guys, don't hesitate because right now we are not talking about any particular definitions. I just want your mind to be wondering maybe, or anchors. Okay, Svetlana, perfect. Yeah, all right. So we are talking about anchors. Anyone? Okay, good. Anyway, so if nothing comes to your mind, it's totally fine because that's the whole idea of today's session. So you will, I can assure you that after today's session, you will be able to conduct session with your client using already that particular technique, because my task is to make it as simple as possible. It could be actually quite complicated, but the idea is to simplify it so you could use it in the coaching sessions. Yeah. So, all right. So let me ask you second question. What is your resourceful state? If I would ask you what kind of word you could use in order to describe the most resourceful state you would like to be right now, because some people are learning better when they are, I don't know, kind of more playful mode or playful state. So they would say, I would like to be playful. Some people say, I would like to be focused. Some people say, I would like to be I don't know, open to, you know, new ideas, whatever word you have in your mind, could you please type? I would love to wait. Okay, anchors. Guys, please feel free to describe the state you would like to be right now, which you consider as the most resourceful state for today's open alert. Perfect. Okay. Interested and focused. Erika, great. Focus and open mind. Perfect, Irene. All right. So we are talking right now about description, but those words can really be your anchors, because every one of you associate certain particular things to the words which you just typed. So what I would like you to do right now is to close your eyes and try to feel, what does it really mean for you, Erika, to be interested and focused. It is some kind of kinesthetic feeling attached to those words. So in your own way, spend several seconds. You don't need to spend more time, but and try to use those words as your anchors to get into that particular state. We all know that the way we learn, the speed we learn certain material, the easiness, you know, or ease, how we can learn it, it's all related to the states. And every one of you already described your resourceful state. So try to get yourself into it. Of course, if you practice NLP for quite a long time, usually NLP people, they anchor a resourceful state. So if you've done it already, you could easily, you know, get trigger your anchors and be in the right state. Yeah, perfect. Irene, you're going to be somatic trainer. Okay, great. So let's move to the next question. Why you're interested in? What is your motivation? What you're gonna do with that material? Because yeah, the theory, there are, you know, millions of books and there are lots of theory you could read. The question is why? Again, very simple. I'm not expecting you to describe right now all possible nuances, but if you could just type few words, why? I am interested because what? Because right now it's the way you are motivated right now. It depends on how aware you are about your deep values connected to this particular material. And if we refresh, because everyone motivated by their own values, and Yvonne implementing into the practice. Okay, so that's a clear statement. If anyone can type, please do that, because it's for your own benefit. If maybe typing is not very comfortable, if you are using some mobile devices, maybe, yeah, it's totally fine. At least you could pronounce it, or you could state it for yourself, because maybe, you know, typing is not really comfortable right now. Yeah. Okay, last question, guys, and then we'll move to material. Is well, any particular idea how you're going to practice it? Because one thing is to be motivated to learn it. Another thing is nothing really get into our I would say body or become a real skill unless you have a clear understanding and plan where you're going to practice it, how. Some people, you know, would like to move that material immediately into the practice with the next coaching session. Some people have another plans. Again, if you can type, please go ahead. If you cannot, just think, when will be your next opportunity when you would like to apply that material which you're going to learn today into the real practice. With my client, perfect. Okay. In my coaching, yeah, each client is okay, perfect. Svetlana, I like that you try to be very precise, because the more concrete or detailed information we provide for our brain, the more real it's going to be. So I would, if I would right now kind of type in something, I would type, well, next session will be, you know, next Thursday, you know, for example, with my client. So that's the time and day when I will be applying this material. So that then it become real, yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. Those are questions which I recommend to use. It can be done in a very kind of very quick manner. So what do you know already? How you would like to be during this session? Why I am interested or why you are interested and so on. In this case, I'm asking you just to complete the statement or the sentence. I am interested because, yeah. And what is your plan, how you're going to implement the material? That's it. Pretty much, you know, those are main kind of foundation for the successful session. Yeah? So I'm going to just jump really quickly, literally 1 minute, to refresh what we covered already, because maybe some of you have missed, you know, some sessions or whatever. So first of all, we defined what belief is. Yeah, the belief in from NLP point of view, belief is the, you know, closely held generalization about causations, yeah, which we have in our world. So one thing is the cause for another, how things are connected, how one thing leads to another, or meaning, because in somebody's, you know, mind, one thing usually mean something. It's not necessarily the cause, but they are connected on a different level. So again, you see that causation and meaning, those are two types of connections which we usually are looking for when we are eliciting beliefs. Again, I will cover that quickly. That we are looking for two parts when we are eliciting somebody's beliefs. We are asking certain particular questions in order to bring to the surface two types of connections. One is connection is cause-effect type, and second is, yeah, meaning type. Yeah, complex. In other words, they call it complex equivalence connection. So one thing means something. So what also we see, what beliefs are all about, they somehow usually goes to the area of boundaries. Boundaries about what? Or limitations about our capabilities, about our behavior, yeah, or about circumstances we are in. So we have like lots of descriptional type of boundaries which we usually express in our belief system. Yeah, boundaries about other people and about us. Yeah, that's what beliefs are. Practically, those are the statements. And right now, you see the types of connections inside of the belief statement. You see the first part, cause, and second part is the cause-effect type of connection, and second part and third one is connected as a meaning. So one particular evidence would mean something. So we are asking two types of questions. Yeah, the first one, how do you know that? And second is, oops, sorry, and I moved it too far. And second is, what causes that to be that way, or what is the cause of that? So as a result, we are eliciting two types of connections. If someone said something, if you feel that your client come to some limiting statement, what you usually do is you are digging for more information, yeah, asking those questions, because usually people are, you know, expressing just tiny part of the belief. So first of all, we would like to elicit the whole belief by asking those two questions. So we would like to have a statement where both connections are very clear, explicit. And then what we also can do, and last session we covered that particular material, is well, we start to search for the set of, I would say, the cluster of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. So what is the limiting belief? Limiting beliefs usually belongs to three major areas. Yeah, you see it right now on your screen: hopeless, helpless, and worthless. Again, guys, right now I don't have time because I know to go into all that material. That material already covered in the previous sessions. but I just want you to refresh it. Yeah, there are three types of major types or major areas of limiting beliefs: hopeless, helpless, and worthless, and they actually create some kind of hierarchy. Yeah, so hierarchy meaning that they are, well, in accordance, in a, how to say it, in comparison to logical levels, which also the system created by Robert Dilts. Logical levels, it's the way to represent the hierarchy, starting from circumstances, then we move into behavior, then to capabilities, beliefs, identity level, values, and so on. Yeah, so beliefs and values, and then identity. So those that the limiting beliefs also belong in the same manner, in accordance to the hierarchy. So I would like right now you to guess hopeless, helpless, and worthless. What do you think is the highest in terms of difficulty to deal with, and the highest in accordance to the logical levels? If I just remind you, logical levels are structured as circumstances, then behavior, capabilities, beliefs or values, and identity. Identity is the highest. So could you please type right now those three limiting areas, starting from the highest, then lowest, and then the lowest? Yeah. Worthless is the highest. Okay, Svetlana, thank you. Guys, any more ideas? Which is the highest? By highest, I mean in comparison to logical levels, highest would be in area of identity, yeah? And then go down, down, up to the circumstances. And actually, it has a certain particular, I would say, it's certain particular correspondence to the difficulty to deal with, because usually identity level is one of the most difficult kind of areas to deal with or reframe, or and when we go lower and lower up to changing of behavior, usually it gets easier and easier. Yeah. So Yvonne, I see worthless, hopeless, helpless. Perfect. Iran, worthless, hopeless, helpless. Okay, perfect. Asama, worthless, highest. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Brilliant. So the last thing I want you to take a look at, which we also covered in the previous sessions, and by the way, every time when I'm sending your recordings for this particular session, you could access the previous ones. You will find it in your email. Yeah. So just pay attention. Just make sure that our emails are not landing into your spam folder, and make our email address as trusted email address, so it's gonna land into your inbox. Yeah? And then you could access all the previous sessions. So one of the sessions is that we discussed also the way you could search for limiting beliefs, the different strategies, how you can do it. So for example, using this particular system, this particular 5 questions kind of assessment, you could easily evaluate the level of motivation of your client, and also you are going to get information where potentially limiting beliefs are, in which area. Again, it will be in the full correspondence with the logical levels. Yeah, you will see immediately where to search for limiting beliefs. And the previous session we also used connectives. You know already. Again, I'm not going to go in details. Those are, you see right now on your screen, there are many kind of words. Linguistically, we use connections in order to get additional information about context and about attitude, which the person who made the statement has. Because one thing is a statement, and another is the way we could provide additional information. And that's connectives. They somehow, linguistically, it's the tools how we in our mind connect different beliefs or different parts of the belief clusters. So for example, if your client express some particular statement and you consider it as a coach, you consider it as a limiting, what you do, you ask several questions, you elicit the whole belief statement, then you could use different system. One of the system which right now you see on your screen, using connectives, you could elicit the cluster of beliefs which are connected to the one which you already make it kind of clear. Yeah. So we are using the connectives. Last session we practiced that, and as a result, yeah, you see on your screen there are multiple connectives we could use. Today we are not going to be going through that material because we covered it last time. And now, guys, we arrived. Yeah, we arrived to the point when you have multiple beliefs connected to the statement which your client expressed. And now it's a crucial moment. What you're going to do about that? So what you've done so far as a coach, you've done lots of pacing and lots of digging. I hope you noticed that everything what you've done so far, it's not related to moving your client to the solution zone. You are still in the problematic zone. Yeah, you're just investigating and digging where your client is. So that's kind of pacing type of work. And I would like to emphasize again and again that pacing part of your coaching session need to be properly done. So please keep in mind that as soon as your client formulated the desired kind of goal or outcome he would like to have, please do not jump immediately into the helping him to get there, because that's not, I mean, it's not the most efficient way to do it. In order to do it really efficiently, you need to investigate problematic zone thoroughly. Yeah, and that so far we covered how you could do it in a very professional and very deep way. Yeah? Eliciting the full statement, eliciting the clusters of other limiting statement connected to that, decided where you're going to go for the intervention, and then it comes the crucial moment. Yeah, the process, how you could move your client forward. And today we are going to be covering one of the one of the procedure or technique which you could use in your coaching session when you already done the all preliminary work and you defined where you would like to make intervention. Yeah. So what we have right now in our kind of starting point is that you supposed to elicit the limiting statement fully. Yeah, you're supposed to have a limiting belief. Yeah, so let's start from this point. Yeah? And I'm gonna just go now. We are going through the whole 4-step process. First thing we do, guys, when the client formulated where he is, we ask or we work with our client in order to define the limiting statement. Well, right now we are in a educational type of session, so unfortunately I cannot really go through 20-30 minutes preliminary work with you. So what I would like to do right now is the volunteer, and I would like that volunteer to come up with some limiting statement. So it's up to you. You could come up with your kind of real one if you can. That would be easier. If you don't have any real limiting statement to work with, you could give us imaginary one. But what will you need just to understand that imaginary one, you need to be some kind of in the shoes of that imaginary client, because in order for me to work successfully with you through the whole process, you need to be somehow in the shoes of that client. So if you just imagine a limiting statement, you need to imagine many other things. so we'll see how it's gonna go, but we need to try at least. Yeah. So ideally, it would be if you could come up with some kind of, well, some kind of limiting statement. So let me see if I have any volunteers. Because if there is no volunteer, yeah, well, I could try to go through the whole process in a theoretical way, but usually theoretical way could be less clear, because when it comes to the real example, usually it comes the material sink in a very easy way, because you see how it's actually done. But if there will be no volunteers, yeah, of course I could try just to go through the theory. Yeah, step 1, step 2. Yeah, let me see if I have any volunteers. Guys, any volunteers? Okay, there are no volunteers. Well, okay. In this case, let me try to cover that material briefly in a theoretical way. And okay, let me see. I think I have volunteer. Just let me see. Yvonne cannot talk today. Traveling. Okay, I'm okay. If okay, Asama, let's try. I mean, we'll see how it's gonna work. At least I will try to simplify the process, not to make it complicated. It could be, of course, because every client is different, but at least from educational point of view, I would like to demonstrate what needs to be done. And again, in some cases, maybe you need to work through one step more thoroughly and spend more time, but we could have like in a very simplified version. Asama, let me just enable your microphone. Let's see if it is I'm gonna unmute it, and let's see if your audio system will produce some sound. Could you please say a few words, Sama?
Hello, hi.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Alex?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly. Very nice, perfect. It's very good. Asama, so yeah, let's just from kind of educational point of view, could you come up, please, with some kind of statement which potentially we can call as a limiting one?
Yeah, I will make it spontaneous. So I don't know how much do you mean by formulating a statement, but I just will speak up my mind.
Yeah, sure, exactly. That's exactly what would be nice to hear.
And what I have in mind sometimes it's about it sounds silly, but have this fear of getting close to cockroaches, and many times I try to do something with it till the level I think I'm phobic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my limiting belief is I can never make it.
Asama, yeah, I lost you for a while. I can never make, and then you disappeared. Could you please repeat if it's possible?
I reached the level that I can never make it to get rid of this
fear,
phobia, let's say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, it is quite well-known phobia in insects. Well, it's kind of scary things for many people, and cockroaches could be just one variation of that. It's clear. So the statement limiting belief that I can never get rid of that fear of cockroaches. Yeah, is it correct, more or less? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, well, guys, we could go here through many different directions. Again, if it would be a real session, I would never ever jumped immediately to some kind of work with the client towards the solution. Yeah, I'm gonna repeat it again. I would ask dozens of questions about why would it be important really to get rid of that fear, how that fear influencing, or there are lots of things we could elicit. But from educational point of view, I cannot get rid of fear, yeah, of that. That's a statement. So I have few questions, just very quick one, Asama. Yeah, the first one is, what do you think is the cause of your fear of cockroaches?
The best of what I reached, it has to do with the way I've been brought up, and it's about seeing mom as well got panic every time
Yeah.
she saw a cockroach.
Yeah. Okay. So because I've seen, or because of the way I was brought up, and I've seen multiple times in my childhood how my mother, reacted on those cockroaches. So that's the cause in your mind why probably you're reacting right now that particular way. I mean, we all conditioned the way we brought up, or education, or whatever, and that could be one of the reasons for sure. And the next question I would like to ask you is, what does it really mean for you? If you will not ever be able to get rid of that fear, it would mean, could you please finish the statement?
It means some weakness somehow. I'm now a man of 46 years old. I'm trying to control this because I don't want to instill the same fear in my kids. And the more I grow up, I realize, especially that I'm a coach, and I really want to get rid of any precipitant fear, anxiety that might limit my growth, progress, move forward. Just hate to feel that this thing's still there.
It make perfect sense. You know, as a coach, you're supposed to walk your talk, or you're supposed to be example of working and growing and I would say destroying all the limitations and moving forward. And that awareness that you have certain particular fear could be a reason that you come to conclusion that it's kind of weakness having that. Yeah, perfect. It makes perfect sense. Guys, what we've done so far, I asked Osama 2 questions. Yeah. The first question, could you please type what kind of connection I was eliciting, or at least to make attempt to make clear through my first question? Was it cause effect, or was it meaning? Could you please type the first question, what kind of connection, and the second question, what kind of connection? So I will give you 30 seconds, and could you please type if you understood what kind of questions I asked Osama so far? Yeah. The first one was why, or what do you think was the cause it, and the second was, if you are not be able to get rid of that fear, what would it mean? Yeah, I hope it's kind of clear what kind of connections I was eliciting, but I just want you to pay attention. Cause, effect, and meaning. Perfect, Iran. Yeah, causality and second meaning. Perfect, Osama. Meaning the first. Okay, great. So you are with me. You are following the process. Again, if I would have more time, I would talk with Osama, because I really like to, at least my style, the way I conduct the coaching session, is very, very conversational. So I don't really like to feel that we are going through some kind of routine or process. I would just be talking. Yeah? But right now, I deliberately would like to make it more procedural, because now we are learning the procedure. Yeah, I would like it to be very clear. So you could ask multiple questions about meaning, multiple questions about causality. I would ask more, maybe. I would even move some. Okay, so your mother was brought up, yeah, and what do you think would it mean that that fear for her? Or I would start to eliciting lots of stuff around that particular fear. But it's already quite interesting. Yeah, first of all, Osama has very clear kind of suggestion why he has fear, the way he was observing reaction of his mother. And the second thing, it's what it really means is some kind of weakness, and weakness connected to his professional activity. Yeah, because he is a coach, he's supposed to be not etalon, yeah, but some kind of example of growing and moving forward, and that having that fear kind of strange, you know, why not to get rid of it if I can? It will make perfect sense. Yeah. So now what we would like to do, let's assume that after you worked with your client and you elicited, you know, not just one first statement, but also clusters, yeah, maybe 3, 4, 5 more statements, and then you decided, okay, let's intervene, or let's make intervention in one particular statement. So when I decided which statement I'm gonna be working with, I will ask my client, so could you please formulate the statement or limiting statement which you think is really, how to say it, holds you down or not allowing you to move forward, how it really sound, so they make it as clear limiting as possible. So Osama, try to I could rephrase it if you are not quite clear, but try to make it the thing which you consider as a limiting one in one sentence, like a very clear. Yeah.
Yes, I feel my hands are tied.
Yeah.
I'm helpless. I just cannot do anything about.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah.
So that particular statement, I am helpless. My hands are tied. Yeah. And could you? Yeah, I was not able to hear you fully. What was the last part? Because somehow I missed it.
The last thing is conclusive. Based on this, then I cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, I cannot do anything. So it's conclusion. Okay, I cannot do anything. All right. So first of all, guys, you could already hear the level. Yeah. Fortunately, we are not talking about identity. At least the way Osama formulated his statement right now, after a little bit of talk. Guys, were you able to hear which level is it? Is it worthless level area, or hopeless or helpless? Could you please type? I think Osama expressed it very clearly. And as a coaches, I would like you to kind of to be able to hear. Yeah? So let me wait for a few seconds. Guys, is it clear where or which level of limitations we are talking about in relation to hierarchy? Yeah? Okay, let me just, okay, so now I was, yeah, helpless. Perfect, very nice. Okay, let's move forward. Osama, I would like you to right now step out. So guys, here we have options how we could move forward. Usually when I work with my clients, I'm asking, like, are you able, Osama, are you able, for example, to move around your computer? I mean, do you have wireless type of connection with your earphones, or you have a wire which is long enough, or sometimes people are really cannot move forward. Some people are working with mobile phones and iPads, so they could easily actually walk. Osama, what kind of environment are you in now? Can you move?
I can do some movements. I have a mobile phone, the
Okay,
Wi-Fi, so
perfect.
I'm fine.
Perfect. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, because some clients cannot. That's good. So you could. So in this case, guys, if your client able to do some steps, then I would advise you to use it, because you know that from NLP point of view, it's very nice to engage some kind of kinesthetic movements. It creates a really powerful effect. But if, for example, your client cannot move, you could also deal with that, because there were situations when my client couldn't move. So what I was doing is that I was asking them, okay, can you please turn your chair in the direction, you know, where you have space ahead of you? So even though you are not able to move, you could imagine that you are making step forward, step forward, step forward. Yeah. I mean, so even if your client cannot move, you still can, you know, do the process. So it's just for you to know how to deal with some a little bit more complicated situations. But in our case, Osama can move, so it's not a big deal. Great. So now what I would like you to do, Osama, I would like you to formulate the statement which or belief which you would like to have in the end of our session. So if you see right now that my hands are tied, I cannot do much about it, and that kind of statement. So what kind of statement you would like to have in your head as a real belief? Ideal.
I don't fall in love with cockroaches, but at least I don't want to have that panic feeling. I just want to be an okay moment if I see a cockroach.
Yeah. Clear, guys. So it's not about love. Maybe it's too much, even though, yeah, it's just creatures, you know, and just an animal, yeah, or an insect, yeah. But what Osama would like to have, as I understood correctly, is to be neutral or to be okay, yeah, and having no negative reaction. Yeah. So, guys, right now I rephrased what Osama said deliberately, but it is important to ask your client several times to pronounce the statement again and again. Ideally, usually what I do, I ask them to write it down. Why? Because you will see later that when we will be going through the process, we will be paying attention to some particular words. And it's extremely important that it's not your words, it's your client's words. So what I usually do is, after we have a first statement, I ask my client, okay, let's write it down. And usually if I have a coaching session through the Skype, we actually typing it in the Skype, yeah, chat window. So we both can see it. It's extremely important that you are working with the statements which are formulated by your client, not by you. So even though I rephrased it now, yeah, so Osama could hear it from me, but I would like again to ask him to state it again. Guys, could you please help me and type Erika or who is native? Probably we have no native English speaking people here. I would like some of you, please, yeah, maybe few people, could you please type what Osama is gonna say right now? What is gonna be his desired statement? Osama, could you please repeat it again? And people, would you please be so kind to type what he's telling us? Yeah?
You want me to verbalize it then? Not
Yes,
just to,
yes,
yeah?
again, yes, exactly.
What I want is just to feel okay the moment I see cockroach. As if it's a moment, normal, I feel neutral, not to panic.
Yeah, clear. Okay, let's wait a few seconds, and I hope people would help me to type it, because for me it's not comfortable right now to type. I'm in a very, okay, to feel okay when I see the cockroach. Okay, Erika, thank you. I would like to feel okay when I see the cockroach. That's a statement which, or belief, yeah, which Osama would like to have. Yeah? And also, Erika, if you would be so kind, and also other people, could you please type the initial statement? You do remember, my hands are tied, I cannot do much about it, yeah. And also we heard about helpless. So I am helpless, my hands are tied, I cannot do much about it. So those are two extreme points: starting point, and after discussion with my client, we figured out the desired statement. Those are two statements. Yeah. I'm bigger than them. Okay. All right. That's bigger. Yeah, that's actually already good start. All right. To feel okay. I'm helpless. My hands are tied. Thank you, Erika. I cannot do anything. Yeah, great. Guys, could you please tell me, is it clear so far what we've done? Even though, you know, it's a educational type of session, but nevertheless. So we discussed with our client the precise starting point. We defined and he formulated his limiting statement, which he believes has a powerful limitations, yeah, and holding him back somehow or getting him stuck. And we so far defined, again, it's just my client can do that in his own words, what kind of statement he would like to have. Yeah, is it clear? If it's clear, could you please confirm? Yes, okay, perfect. So I just want you to make sure that everybody is. Okay, perfect, clear. So what does it mean? Now we are moving to the most interesting part, which is, partially, even though it is a procedural part, but it's now you need to use the creativity and the real skill, yeah, as a coach. So we're supposed to, let me just move our presentation forward. So after limiting belief, what we need to do is to move our client into the second step. The second step will be to find the statement which somehow between that the initial, I would say the negative one or limiting one, and slightly less negative. Yeah. So somehow to find the way how to move our client forward and to ask him to formulate something which would be pretty much true, but would be already advanced, yeah, to moving forward from the initial statement. How we usually could do that? It's actually, if you are familiar with NLP, you probably know one of the NLP presuppositions, which is positive intention. Behind every belief which people could have, there is a positive intention. So what does it really mean in our particular case with Osama? Why would he has that kind of fear, yeah, or why? I mean, his suggestion that he was conditioned the way he brought up, when he saw how parents or mother in particular, I would say, behaving or reacting on those cockroaches. Osama, tell me please, in terms of positive intention, by reacting this particular way, what do you think that that type of behavior, how that would serve to your mother in terms of achieving something, or in terms of preventing something, or what is the real root of her behavior? Right now, we are not talking about your behavior. We are talking about your mother's reaction on the cockroaches.
It's to keep the house clean, because
Yep.
she had that feeling the cockroaches comes from dirty places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Clear.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so again, I'm sorry, I'm making it a little bit faster. I would ask more questions again, but the idea, guys, we are asking the any kind of positivity behind the behavior, because obviously when insects are coming in a house, well, they could bring lots of dirt or microbes or whatever, and it's very clear in a association with the dirt and something which you need to get rid of. Yeah? It's a kind of crawling all over the place. It's actually indicator that something is dirty. Yeah? So I could easily imagine that every woman who is taking care of the household, I mean, they would be immediately reacting that, oh wow, I mean, I need to get rid of that stuff. Yeah. So well, guys, tell me please, to keep your house clean, does it sound like a negative thing? how is it important to you to have a clean environment? Svetlana, perfect, around you. Protection, yeah, okay, perfect. You already get into that. Yeah, Erika, thank you. Asama, thank you. So, guys, that's how, again, maybe you will not immediately, as a coach, immediately find that kind of positivity or positive intention behind the belief, but if you do the proper job, you will. Because there is always, when we are forming something which later maybe we could evaluate as a negative, in the beginning, it's always 100% serving to something positive. Maybe we later forget about that, maybe circumstances already changed and now it looks like a totally negative thing, but if you dig thoroughly and deep enough, you will discover that actually behind it, there is some kind of positivity, definitely, yeah. So in this particular fear, maybe it's not just that, but you know, getting your house clean, it could be easily one of the reasons why Asama's mother reacted on the cockroaches that particular way. So now we have, now after some work with your client, we elicited the positive intention. So my question again, maybe you will spend more time, yeah, to finding the right statement. But right now, let's kind of accelerate the process. Asama, I would like you right now to come up with the statement where that positivity somehow already kind of clear, yeah. So I would like you to rephrase your first statement in the direction of embracing the positive aspect of that. So I would like you to create statement which somehow between or moving a little bit forward, which you really feel like it's true. So what is important for me is not that you are making kind of false statement or something which you completely do not even believe in. No, I would like you to create statement which you feel is as a true one, but it's not as negative as your first one.
Okay.
Try. I mean, it's not always easy to do that, but if you can, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm fine. In reaction to my mom's being keen to keep the house clean,
Yeah.
I have been impacted to have this fear from cockroach.
Yeah. So you could read right now your statement, the first one. Let me just scroll up somewhere. The first statement was, I am helpless. My hands are tied. I cannot do anything in order to get rid of fear of cockroaches. So somehow I would like you right now, keeping in mind that piece of information that it was formed maybe by your mother, who was actually trying to keep your household clean. Try to come up with some kind of statement which has both parts. Yeah.
So I say it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. An attempt of my mom to keep the house clean, I have been impacted, influenced to have this fear from cockroaches.
Yeah, okay. Good. Guys, could you please type what Asama just was able to formulate? So my question to my client was, okay, we have a negative or initial, starting point type of statement, which has a, clear limitations. Now, through a little bit of work with my client, we discovered piece of information, how that totally limiting statement was actually born. So Asama was observing his mother, and his mother, what his mother tried to do is she was trying to keep her household clean. That was at least one of the aspects. Right now, we are not, we are not able to cover all the possible other aspects as well. We would be digging more, but at least as example, yeah. And I'm asking my client, is there any way you could reformulate your initial statement, incorporating that valuable piece of information? Yeah, how that statement, initial statement, was formed. Guys, let me see if anyone was able to type what Asama just said. Our mind always has the possibility. Asama, I see that. No, okay. In reaction to my mom's interest to keep the house clean, I have been brought up to feel the fear against. Yeah, perfect. I like it. I like it. So what I would like you to do, Asama, is that when you the kinesthetic part of our exercise is that usually what I do with my client, I ask them imagine that there are 4 spaces in front of them, the 4 steps ahead of you. So the first step you do, you are stepping into your problematic state. What I usually do is that, okay, Asama, please stand up. Right now you're out of any kind of statement or any states related to our work. So what I would like you to do is that to step into make a first step forward and get into the place which we believe as our starting point. And now you read out loud your initial statement. Yeah, we already remember that. So you would be saying, I am helpless, my hands are tied, based on this I cannot do anything. So that was our first statement. Yeah, and you are in that particular space right now.
Okay.
So next step, I am asking my client, okay, Asama, now you formulated the new one. That's actually interesting. Yeah, you please step 1 step forward. Yeah, move forward 1 step. And now, please state out loud the new statement which you just come up.
Which is the one that I reformulated.
Yes,
from
yes, exactly, exactly.
in mom's attempt to keep the house clean. I have been brought up with this fear from cockroaches.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, guys, right now our client moved 1 step forward and he already rephrased his initial statement slightly. Reframe it in such a way that it's become quite clear that there is a positive intention behind that so-called negative limitations which he is experiencing. Yeah. And Asam, I would like you to like when you read it. Normally, I ask my client to read it several times and to feel and evaluate how true is it, that particular statement, from the level of 1 is not true at all and 10 is actually quite true. So where are you now when you read that statement out loud and you are spatially in the second step, from 1 to 10, how it feels like?
I see it 10.
10.
Very true,
Okay.
but I rather say it's 9 because maybe as well mom was not just keen, maybe she was.
Yes.
So I it's safe to say 9, not 10.
Yeah, this is true because we didn't really go in a more thorough way. Maybe your mother had many other kind of elements. Yeah? I just kind of artificially, trying to demonstrate the process. Yeah, that's why we are a little bit rushing. Yeah, I would do it more thorough. So right now we are in the second state. We evaluated how true it is, and I assume that results are not bad, because number 9 or even number 7 or 8 would be really great results. Because if our client feels that this statement is pretty much true, and you see that, guys, can you tell me that it's not as negative as or limiting as it was before? Could you please confirm yes if you agree? Okay, good. So at that point, we see that using that positive intention, we were able to reformulate a little bit our initial statement, and now our client confirmed that it feels true, so we are in the right way. You see that we move forward already towards our final destination point. So what we're supposed to do right now as a process is that to find one particular word in this statement and use reframing, like a redefining pattern of reframing. So, I think right now I'm pretty much aware that I'm already keeping you 10 minutes longer than our session is. So maybe we could continue that particular process, next Thursday. But at least I hope, to be honest, we need to do 2 more steps. Maybe it's going to take 10, 15, 20 minutes. So we could easily finish our process. Asama, if you will be able next Thursday to be on a session, it would be great. If not, then probably we could work with like a new client. But anyway, I will show you the next 2 steps. But the next 2 steps will be pretty much in the same logical sequence. We will be finding new statements and working with our client in order for him to feel that it's true. The way we do it is that, for example, the first step, we were able to find using positive intention reframing pattern. Yeah. So because we know that behind every limiting statement there is a positive intention. Yeah? And like a next step, we will be using another reframing technique, which called redefining. It's done in a very kind of easy way. So we are supposed to go very thoroughly through the statement which our client has and find some word which we could use in order to make it smoother, softer, and a little bit less limiting. Okay, let's do maybe 1 more minute. Let's look at Asama's current statement, yeah, in his second position, and tell me please which word or words we probably will be using in order to use redefining pattern, yeah, of reframing. So let's see. In reaction to my mom interest to keep or intention to keep the house clean, I have been brought up to feel the fear against cockroaches. Guys, what would you suggest? Which words or group of words we will be working with in order to redefine them? So using redefining reframing technique. I will explain later what redefining reframing technique is, yeah? Maybe next Thursday. Any suggestions? In reaction to my mom interest, okay, that's Svetlana thing, okay, that's one thing. Any other ideas? I would actually focus in on a different group of words, but I don't want to say it unless everyone, could guess first. Carlos, Irene, any ideas? Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's Svetlana. That's exactly where at least I would go. I would go to be brought up to feel the fear. To be brought up to feel the fear. That's, yeah. Okay. So that's going to be, if Asama will be able to join us next Thursday, I would be happy to continue. I mean, if not, at least I hope that up to this moment, you see the logic, yeah? So we, through certain particular procedure, we are moving our clients from initial very limiting and clearly limiting statement towards the desired, quite positive and empowering, I would say, statement, yeah, the desired statement. Yeah? And so far we were able to do 1 step already fully, and we already designing the 3rd step, yeah. Is it clear so far, guys, what we've done? Yeah, clear. Thank you, Yvonne. Osama, thank you very much for your willingness to help us and to be kind of imaginary client. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Before I finish today's session, I would like to first of all to thank everyone that you found some time, and I hope you have already kind of idea where we are getting, and you have an idea of the whole process. But believe me, next Thursday we are gonna start from the demonstration, so there will be no preliminary kind of talks, and we will be able to cover the whole process easily. And guys, one of the things I would like you to participate if possible, guys. In our coaching community, we use the power of community in order to help every individual coach who are member of Headway coaching group to improve their their profiles and the LinkedIn profiles and social media profiles. And one of the things what we encourage people to do is to help with the endorsements in your LinkedIn connections. Yeah? Because one of the things how you could improve your social media presence is that to have your Facebook with multiple likes, for example, to have your Twitter with lots of followers, to have your LinkedIn profile with lots of endorsements and kind of testimonials and so on. So endorsements, one of the things which people usually struggle with. So what I would encourage you, I'm gonna send to everyone in our following email with recordings. I'm gonna send the list of people which we have in our community, and could you please, if it's not a big deal, if you will find a little bit of time to send them some kind of endorsement in order to improve their LinkedIn profiles, because we could do it for each other, and as a result, everybody's LinkedIn profile will be much better looking, and it could be easily done if you just help each other. So in the next email, together with this recording for this session, I will send you the list, I don't know, 10-15 people who are participants of this particular webinars. And if you maybe spend several minutes, endorsing their LinkedIn pages, and all 20 people will be, as a result, getting lots of endorsements. It so easily can be arranged, and it's gonna save lots of time, for you to get endorsement in any other way. I don't know if it makes sense. So that's it. That's what I would like just to say, and thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Irene, Erika, Carlos, Osama, Svetlana. I hope to see you next week, next Thursday, and of course you're gonna get recordings and all the presentation PDF files and other things. Yeah. So see you next week, and have a great week. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. Bye, everyone.